Hello, and welcome to another episode of my 30 plus decks. Today I'm going to be showing off one that's, I guess, one of my newer ones, but it's definitely a fun one and pretty strong too. This is Elenda, Saint of the Dusk. So, two white and a black for a 4/4 Vampire Knight, has lifelink and hexproof from instants, and as long as my life total is greater than my starting life total, Elenda gets +1/+1 and has menace. Elenda gets an additional +5/+5 as long as my life total is at least 10 more than my starting life total. So I will be keeping track of life in this one. I guess I'll be using this Chalice of the Void token or life counter thing. Excuse me. Anyways, this deck is not only life gain, but also life loss. I made it vampires, I made it bats, I made it my Batman deck, and when this creature gets, or I guess when I'm at 10 or more than my starting life total, I consider that Batman mode. So that is Elenda being a 10/10 lifelink menace, hexproof from instants. Yeah, that's Batman mode. Anyways, there are infinite combos in this deck. I know that I have taken infinite gain and drain combos out of other decks of mine, like my Bilbo Birthday Celebrant no longer has infinite gain and drain. I take that back. It does have infinite gain and drain, but it does not have a exquisite blood. It only has a sanguine bond. I think that there's still... Oh, no, because Veto is like Sanguine Bond. No, I took out any Exquisite Blood instances from Bilbo, but there is Exquisite Blood and, what is that, Bloodthirsty Conqueror. Those are both in this deck, so there is still much potential for infinite combos in here. Bilbo, I decided to keep infinite life gain. This one is gain and drain. No, I mentioned bats. If they come up, we'll see it. But for the most part, it is me gaining life, and there is some instances of me losing life, because there are some things with bats that they like both. Yeah, let's just jump right in. I got my hand ready, so let's go. Draw. Let's go ahead and go Scoured Barrens. Enters tapped, I gain a life. And since I'm just tracking how much life I'm gaining, so I'm not technically losing any life with this playtest, Elenda will be a 5/5 as soon as she comes out. Going to turn 2, untap and draw. I'm going to get a Swamp, and I'll tap this Scoured Barrens for a white, casting a Hinterland Sanctifier. That's a 1/2 Rabbit Cleric. Whenever another creature I control enters, I gain a life. Going to turn 3, and draw. And that will be a swamp for the turn. And I have options. But truth be told, the best option is going to be tapping 3, black, and 1 for Gix Yawgmoth Praetor. And when he enters, I gain a life. But then I'm going to swing this Hinterland Sanctifier. Since it's turn 3, I'm going to say that I can swing in free at someone just this once. So when it deals combat damage, I will pay 1 life and draw a card. And I got that land that I was hoping for. So let's go to turn 4. Untap and draw. Let's go with a Caves of Koilos, which is probably the best land in my deck for gaining and losing life as a strategy. Let's go black, white, and 2 for Elenda, Saint of the Dusk. When she enters, I gain a life. She is a 5/5 menace lifelink hexproof from instants. Let's go to turn 5. Untap. I will draw. Okay. That's not exactly what I want. Okay. Ooh. That's not bad either. Okay. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I will cast the other Elenda, or more, another Elenda. Elenda, the Dusk Rose. 1/1 lifelink, Whenever another creature dies, I put a 1/1 counter on Elenda. Whenever Elenda dies, when Elenda dies, create X 1/1 vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is her power. On entry, I gain a life. And then I will tap 1, 2, 3 because of Convoke, and I will cast Markov Baron. This is a 2/2, has Convoke, like I mentioned, has lifelink. Other vampires I control get +1/+1. Also has Madness for 2 and a black. When he enters, I will gain another life, putting me up to 44. And I will declare attack with Elenda, Saint of Dusk, as a now 6/6 lifelink menace. Damage being dealt, I will gain 6 life, putting me up to 50, which means now Elenda is a 10/10, nope, an 11/11 menace lifelink. Batman mode. Going to turn 6. On tap. Let's put the Elendas together. They're twins. Draw. Yeah, it's definitely twins. No chance that they are the same person. 1, 2, 3. Oh, actually, no. It's not a need, is it? 1, 2, 3. Black, white, and 1 for Zoraline, Cosmos Collar. When she enters, I will gain a life. Let me put things in just, a bit more condensed. There we go. Zoraline is a 3/3 flying vigilance bat cleric. Whenever a bat I control attacks, I gain 1 life. Whenever Zoraline enters or attacks, I may pay a white and a black and 2 life. When I do, return target non-land permanent from my graveyard, or with mana value 3 or less from my graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. Now, I hadn't thought about that, actually. So let me actually take this back. Let me take back Zoraline, just because there is nothing in my graveyard. So let's instead... I won't change the life gain because I'm going to cast a creature anyways. But let's go with a vampire. Black, black, and 1. Vampire Nighthawk, which is now a, because of you, 3/4 flying Death Touch lifelink. Life is gained. I'm fine with that. Let's swing with Elenda, Saint of Dusk. Damage is dealt. That is 11/11, so I gain 11 life, putting me up to 62. Let's go to this turn 7. Draw. White, black for Ilas Ilkor, Sadistic Pilgrim. 2/2 Death Touch. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under my control, I gain a life, which, because it enters, I gain a life. And whenever another creature I control dies, each opponent loses 1. Yeah. Now... I didn't untap Elenda. Let's go ahead and go to combat, and I will swing with Elenda and Vampire Nighthawk. That's 3 plus 11, so 1, 2, 3, 14 life. Puts me up to 77. I will say that the Vampire Nighthawk got through, but Elenda didn't. I've honestly not had her been getting through. It's very possible that this menace is just a bit too much that, early game creatures can handle. But, I'm saying that she's blocked. Vampire Nighthawk being a flying Death Touch, people don't want to mess with that as much, so I will say that I lose 1 and draw a card. And that's still not land. Darn. Okay, that was that 7th turn. Just showing off my hand, I had a Welcoming Vampire that I just drew into, Anguished Unmaking, which I was mentioning some bats like me losing life, so exile target non-land permanent, and I lose 3 life. Zoraline, which you saw, Moonstone Harbinger, 1/3 flying death touch. Whenever I gain or lose life during my turn, bats I control get +1/+0 and gain death touch until the end of turn. Only once each turn. Vanquisher's Banner, which is a bit pricey, but it's a card draw eventually. I would choose vampires, and then vampires get +1/+1. Whenever I cast a vampire spell, I draw a card. And I did have a Beacon of Immortality, where I could just straight up double target player's life total, which would be mine, and then shuffle this back into my library. But I only had the 4 lands to work with. But I mean, as far as I got, I think that 3 land was just fine. If I had something like 6, I could be double casting. Oh my gosh. Well, let's see if I can do that in this next game. Bam. Right. Go, reset that life. These sleeves I got in a Whatnot auction with Nitpicking Nerds. I think that they had gotten it at a convention and weren't planning on using them, so bam, I got them. I really do like them. They fit the theme of my deck, and they're not too bad sleeves. Not bad at all. Dragon Shield sleeves. Not a sponsor. Not asking, just saying. Okay, let's just go another shuffle up or 2. There we go. There we go. How's this looking? Now, why would I have that? There's only one thing that I can think. Maybe 2 things that I can think. Yeah, I think that's you. Edgar Charmed Groom. Don't know why you're proxied if I have sleeves. Well, that's fine. It happens. Some of them slip through undetected. Okay. Let's see. I have 2 lands. I have some 2 costs. Is that good enough? I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna make a smart call and say no. Because one of them was an MDFC. I don't want to rely on that. The other one was also a Caves of Koilos, which would be, hey, if I want color, I pay life. I'm trying to gain life. Okay. But I'm okay with losing life, which is not a bad strategy either. Oh my goodness, now I wish I went with the other hand, don't I? Well, it happens. There have been times where I'm just shuffling and all of the lands just gravitate together, and it's awful. Awful. That's magic, baby. Okay, shuffle and a cut. And sure. It's still 2 land, but I still wish that I kept that other one. I'll just go. Draw. Thriving Moor, I'll choose white, so taps for black or white. Turn 2, and draw. It's going to be a Plains, black-white for Illis Ilkor, Sadistic Pilgrim. Turn 3, I will draw. I don't have the mana for that. Turn 3, just the colors. So let's go Temple of Silence, or more Temple of Scrylance. And with that, do I want that next card? It's not the worst thing that I could draw, but I don't think that it really helps. So let's put that on the bottom. Let's go to turn 4, untap, and I will draw. Let's go ahead and go plains, and I will tap 4 for Elenda, Saint of Dusk. When she enters, I gain a life, making her a 5/5 menace lifelink. Going to turn 5 is untap and draw. Okay. Neat. It's like I like it, but I don't like it. I really just don't know. Let's start off with this. 1/2. Hero's Heirloom. Equipped creature gets +2/+1, and as long as the equipped creature is legendary, they get trample and haste. And then I'll tap 2 and equip that. Since I have more life than my starting life total, that would be a 5/5, so 7/6 lifelink menace. That would be 7 life. And turn 6. It's going to be untap and draw. Darn shame. Let's go for 4. I will cast a Star Charter. When it enters, I will be gaining a life because of the Eel Core. And it says at the beginning of my end step, if I gained or lost life this turn, I look at the top 4 cards of my library. I may reveal a creature with power 3 or less from among them and put it in my hand, the rest in the bottom in a random order. The only thing that I'm thinking is I might just look at a bunch of land, and that might just be awful. Either way, I'll swing with Elenda, Saint of Dusk again, and that's another 7. So 1, 2, 3, so that's up to 56, making Elenda a 10/10 base power, so a 12/11 lifelink menace trample. Hexproof from instants and sorceries. Not instants. Sorry, not sorceries. Just instants. Talking. Let's go to this turn 7 or more end step. I look at the top 4 cards. Land, and a Legion Lieutenant. Cool. Untap. Draw. And it's not a land. That's just my luck, isn't it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go black, and 1 for Gix Yawgmoth Praetor. When he enters, I gain a life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's swing with Elenda as a 12/11 trample lifelink menace, which I think we'll get through. So I will lose a life, draw a card, but also be gaining 7. No. 12. Putting me up to 68. But also didn't draw land. That's kind of what I was hoping for. That means I can go end step, beginning of end step. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's a whiff, including a land. And then I discard down, which I guess will be... I could go Vanquisher's Banner. Could go Exquisite Blood. Or something along those lines. Definitely a bit of a rough choice as far as what I want to discard. I'm doing fine with life gain. I'll discard Beacons of Immortality. And let's see, just about 20 minutes. Let's do one more. Man, I know that I have the land in here. It's just kind of a shame. I honestly was hesitating playing that Star Charter, thinking that exact thing that happened. Like, okay, but what if on my end step I drew and then I just look at a bunch of land? And that's exactly what happened. Ugh. That is something that I already know about the deck. Is not the land situation. No, there's plenty of land in the deck, I swear. But it's the fact that there's not a whole lot of draw. Definitely not a whole lot of like mass draw in white-black. So Vanquisher's Banner, it's a 5 cost that doesn't even immediately draw me cards. Then I have to have more vampire spells to cast. So even that one, I'll be honest, I'd prefer something better. But kind of working with what I got. So if I find something better, I know that there are things in black, definitely, that's like, you know, exactly what I've been doing, or trying to do, I guess, in smaller scale, which is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lose life and draw cards. Hey, there's all my lands. There we go. There we go. Since I don't have a second, let's go, baby. Turn 1. Jumping right in. Draw. Okay, don't have a turn 2 play, so let's go turn 1. Plains into Console of Authority. Console of Authorities, you heard me. Authority of the Consuls. Creatures I control. Creatures my opponents control enter tapped. Whenever a creature an opponent control enters, I gain 1 life. I could have it something where each of my opponents gets a creature, or maybe just one of my opponents gets a creature. Let's see. Let's kind of go based off of turns. So, go to turn 2. I will say that one person got a creature. Untap, and then I will draw. Now, like I was mentioning, I don't have a turn 2, so let's go Terramorphic Expanse. And what do I want? More planes. Alright. Don't have to worry about a tapped land, because like I was saying, didn't have that second play. Moved to turn 3, and I will say that there was just one more creature made, or one more creature entered under my opponent's control. Untap, and I will draw. I like that. Let's go Swamp. White, and 1. Life Creed Duo. 1/2 Bat Bird. It is a bat, comma, bird. 1/2 flying. Whenever another creature enters under my control, I gain 1 life. Going to turn 4. I'll say that there was 2 creatures made. So that'll be untap, draw. Let's go with another swamp. And then I'll tap 4, casting my commander. Gains me a life. My commander's currently a 5/5 Menace Lifelink, hexproof from Instance. Going to turn 5. I'll say that this time each of my opponents makes 1 creature. 1, 2, 3. So I'm up to 48. Let's go untap, upkeep, draw. Let's go with this Plains as my land for turn. Hitting land drops. What even happens when I hit my land drops? Craziness, that's what happens. Let's go white and 3 for Rock's Faithmender. 1/5 lifelink. If I would gain life, I gain twice that much life instead. So Life Creed Duo has me gain 2 life. So that's putting me up to 50. Elenda sees that and is now a 10/10 Menace Lifelink. I'm just going to stop saying hexproof from Instance. 1 white for Speaker of the Heavens. 1/1 Vigilance Lifelink. I can tap I can tap to create a 4/4 Angel Creature token with flying, only if I have at least 7 or more life than my starting life total, and only as a sorcery. And then that gains me another 2 life. I will be swinging with Elenda as a 10/10 lifelink menace, and that will gain me 20 life, putting me up to 72. Let's go to turn 6. I guess each of my opponents made one more creature each, so I'll say I gain another 6 life, putting me up to 78. And this is all guesstimations and such. I could have a creature token deck or something like that against me. Anyways, untap. And I draw. Okay, now I might miss a land drop, and that's alright. Let's see. White and 2 for a Path of Bravery. As long as my life total is greater than or equal to my starting life total, creatures I control get +1/+1. And whenever one or more creatures I control attack, I gain life equal to the number of attacking creatures. Times 2. Then I will go white and 1, casting Dawn of Hope, which I think is more of a later game way for me to draw cards. It is nice, but no, that is nice. It's something. Whenever I gain life, I may pay 2. If I do, I draw a card. I don't have ways to pay for that, but I can still tap Speaker of the Heavens to make a... Do I not? There's my 9 lives familiar. I found it. I've honestly been looking for that for a second. I wanted to use it in Zimone and Dino. Okay, I'll just use this as my angel token. Let's slide things down and condense. When that angel enters, I gain 2 life, putting me up to 80, hypothetically. And then I will declare attack with Elenda, and only Elenda. Path of Bravery says whenever I attack, I gain life equal to the number of attacking creatures, times 2, so that is just another 2 life on declaration of attack. And then Elenda deals damage as an 11/11 because of the Path of Bravery, giving an extra +1/+1, so that's 22 life gained, putting me at 104 life, hypothetically. Now let's go on to turn 7. On tap. I guess on or off of my turn, I'll say that that's just another 1 creature per opponent. So that's another 6 life. I'm up to 110. Then I will draw. That will be land. That will be tapping all out for a Nykthos Paragon that says, whenever I gain life, I may put that many 1/1 counters on each creature I control. Do this only once each turn. It is a May ability, so I get to choose the opportune moment for it. Guess what that is. When it enters, I gain 2 life. I will tap Speaker of the Heavens, making a second angel, gaining me 2 or more life. I will declare attack with Elenda, and on combat damage, that is 11. So I am gaining 22 life. 1, 2, 1, 2. Putting me up to 136. And that will be the instance that I will use Nykthos Paragon. I will put 22 1/1 counters on each creature I control. Now, I'm not going to use the dice for that. I'm just going to do that on him because it is the last turn of this, but that makes him a 26, 28. Makes Elenda as an 11/11. Oh, hold on, because he's getting +1/+1, so he's actually a 27, 29. Elenda would be, let's see, an 11/11, so 33, 33. My Life Creed duo would be 24, 25 flying. My Rock's Faith Mender would be a 22, 28 lifelink. Speaker of the Heavens would be a 24/24 Vigilance lifelink. And both of my angels, which do not have Vigilance, they would be 27/27s with flying. Yes. And that is all just considering the Path of Bravery, giving them an extra +1/+1. Man. I think that was great. You know, this deck is very cool once it gets its land going. I honestly might just have to double check the deck to see that it actually has all 38 lands that I want it to, because that's kind of what I've been shooting for. Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Definitely enjoyed playing for you. The only card that was in my hand, just as a note, Anguish in Making. It came back to me. But yeah, I think that was great. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Later.